Let's be honest, technology is, well, it's everywhere. It's in our pockets, on our wrists, in our cars. But its most powerful, most complicated impact might just be happening right inside our classrooms. So, let's get into it, the fascinating and tricky relationship between tech and education. Seriously, just for a second, do a quick scan of the room you're in. How many screens are there? One? Two? Maybe more, right? And yeah, that definitely includes the one you're looking at right now. That number, it's more than just a random fact. It's a snapshot of just how deeply tech is woven into our daily lives. And this idea is right at the heart of our source material. It points out that over the past couple of decades, our lives have been, quote, slowly taken over by technology. It's become so normal, so second nature, that we barely even register its presence anymore.
Okay, so let's shift our focus to the place where this is all playing out in a really high-stakes way, the digital classroom. I mean, what started out as a huge debate is now, well, it's just the reality of modern education.
It's easy to forget, but this quote from our source is a great reminder that it wasn't always this way. Having computers and tablets in schools wasn't a given. For a long time, it was a really debatable topic, and people had some seriously strong feelings on both sides.
But the tide turned. As more and more schools and universities jumped on board, the positives seemed to be winning out. And the promise? Wow, the promise was huge. We're talking about a complete reinvention of how we learn and how we teach.
And that brings us to the first side of this double-edged sword, the incredible promise of educational technology. So what were these amazing benefits that got everyone so excited?
And the list of potential upsides is pretty amazing when you think about it. Teachers can share lesson plans and ideas from across the globe instantly. Students can follow world events as they happen, learn how to do real research, and tap into a library bigger than any physical building. Oh, and of course, online learning has become a completely legitimate and respected way to get an education.
So, the bottom line is this. EdTech promised a world where information is at your fingertips all the time. The whole idea was to raise a generation of students who are more aware, better informed, and ready to tackle complex problems. Sounds pretty perfect, right?
Well, this is where our story takes a bit of a turn. Because with any powerful tool, there's always the potential for things to go wrong. And so our source material asks a really important question. What happens when this amazing tech isn't used the right way?
And this flips us over to the other side of the blade, the pitfalls. Let's take a look at some of the hidden costs that can pop up when you fill a classroom with screens.
First up is a super practical one, lost learning time. Every single minute in a classroom counts, but things like spotty Wi-Fi, software that won't load, or just not knowing how to use the tech, all of that can eat up precious minutes of actual teaching time.
Then you've got the problem of overuse and, well, good old-fashioned distraction. The source makes a great point that computers just can't replace hands-on learning, like actually using art supplies or doing a science experiment. And let's be real, the splashy visuals and sound effects on a new app can easily pull a student's attention away from the actual lesson.
Now here's a sneakier danger. When a student can find any answer in just a few seconds, it's so tempting to just copy and paste, to write it down word for word without actually understanding the concept. And that just completely bypasses the hard work and critical thinking that sparks real learning and creativity.
And this is the real paradox, isn't it? The biggest strength of technology, that instant access to info, is also its greatest weakness. Anyone can post anything online, which makes it incredibly tough for students to figure out what's a fact and what's fiction without a guiding hand.
And ultimately, our source warns that this can lead to a really troubling outcome. If we rely too much on the digital and the theoretical, we can end up with students who are, and I'm quoting here, very good on paper but don't possess skills and knowledge in their selected area. Basically, they have the facts but not the ability to actually do anything with them.
So, where does all this leave us? We've got this incredibly powerful tool that can do amazing things, but also comes with some serious risks. It really all boils down to finding that right balance.
This final quote from our source just nails it, doesn't it? It says that the way education is delivered has changed a lot in both positive and negative sense. The big idea here is that the tech itself, it isn't good or bad. Its impact is all about how we decide to use it. And that right there is the key takeaway. Think about it. A hammer can be used to build a house, or it can be used to tear one down. Technology in the classroom is exactly the same. It's a neutral tool. And whether it ends up helping or hurting, that's entirely up to us.
Which leaves us with one last massive question to think about. Whose job is it to make sure we get this right? Is it on the teachers in the classroom, the parents at home, or is it on the students themselves to learn how to navigate this new digital world?